Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Stephanie and I'm a physical therapist, and today we're going to go through a hip mobility routine. Now, hip mobility is one of my favorite things to do because if you work on it daily, even just 5 or 10 minutes, it really helps how you feel. Your hips feel better, your back feels better, your knees feel better, and it helps you prevent pain and injury. So, we're going to go through this routine and you can just follow along with me. And if there's anything that's too difficult for you, you can just skip that part or work your way into it. This routine is tough, but it's great for beginners. Even if you've never done hip mobility before, you can do some of these moves. Okay, so we're going to start in this position. This is called a 90-90 position. So our hips are bent to 90 degrees, our knees are bent to 90 degrees. And we're going to do it on both sides, but we're going to start on this one. So for the first, you're just going to start in this position here, and you're going to lean forward. So you're going to lean towards the front knee just as far as you can comfortably, and then come back up, and then lean forward again, come back up. So with this, you want to keep moving. You can pause for a second or two when you at the lowest point you can get and at the top, but you really want to keep moving to kind of keep working on that mobility. So we're just going to go up and down. And if you can only go a little bit, like if you can only lean this far, that's okay. That's a start, and the more you do it, the further you'll be able to go. So you should feel this in the front and the back hip. So just forward and backwards. Let's do 2 more of these. And these are great to do on the floor, on a yoga mat on the floor. But if you have a hard time getting on the floor or don't want to get on the floor, you can do them on a bed as well, or if you have a table, whatever works for you. Okay, so now we're going to stay in this position. We're going to lean forward, and we're going to lift our back foot off the ground. So you're just going to lift up and down. And if it's hard to lift or you can't lift very high, that's okay. Just go as far as you can go. If you feel like you can't lift, you can lean further forward. Sometimes that gives you more range of motion. It gives me a little bit more. And if you still really can't lift, then you can leave it here and just try to do the motion. So try to pull your foot off the ground, and if it doesn't go, that's okay. Just keep on pushing up and then relax. We'll go a couple more here. And then from that position, we're going to stay lean forward a little bit. And you want to keep your back up tall if you can, so you don't want to hunch over too much with this. You want to kind of lean your whole back straight forward. All right, so from here, now we're going to lift the whole leg up, the whole back leg, just up and down. And again, you may need to lean further forward to lift it. If it doesn't go that high, that's okay. Just lift as high as you can lift. And we'll do a couple more. Okay, now from there, we're going to lean to the side a little bit, and we're going to lift the front leg. So we're just going to lift like that. Or you can lean back if you need to. Just going to lift that whole front leg just as high as you can. And if you can't lift that high, that's okay. It's also important to do all of these pretty slow and controlled. So you don't have to go too slow, but you don't want to just sloppily lift like that. And while we're working on our hip mobility, we're also working on strength. They go hand in hand. So if you can't lift here, you can't lift the back leg, it may be due to mobility, but it also may be due to strength. So the more you work on it, the stronger and more mobility you'll get in each joint. So just work on it and you'll get there. Okay, let's go one more. Okay, and then from here, we're going to do a rotation. So we're going to go back and forth a few times, and then we'll end up on the other side and do the same movements on the other side. So we're just going to slowly come to the middle and then down to the other side. And on this one, you can keep your hands behind you, just like this, Or if you want more of a challenge, you can put your arms out in front of you. Just back and forth slowly. And when you get to each side, you can do that forward lean, get a little extra stretch there. And then rotate back to the other side and lean. See a few more of these. If you find it really hard to do sitting up, you can start laying down. Okay, let's stay on this side and we'll do the same things to this side. So first we're going to do our forward leans. Lean as far as you can. And we'll do 2 more. From there, we're going to lean forward, lift the back leg. And again, if you can't lift, you have trouble lifting, lean forward a little bit more. Or just try your hardest to lift. And you don't have to lift very high. So if it's just a small, tiny lift, that's okay. Just make sure you do it kind of slow and controlled. Okay, 2 more. And then from there, we're going to stay leaned forward. Lift up the whole back leg. Lift here. And one side may be harder than the other side. I think this left leg is a little bit weaker on me, so it's a little bit harder. But that's okay. You may just have to put in a little extra work on that side. All right, 2 more. Okay, and from there, we're going to lean back or lean to the side, and we're going to lift our front leg like this, just as high as you can comfortably. And if it's not that high, that's okay. The more you do it, the better it'll feel, and the more mobility you will have. Okay, we're going to do 3 more. And 3. Okay. From there, we're going to go into a butterfly. And what we're going to do is put our feet together, and you can bring them as close to you as you can. I mean, if it's not that close, that's okay. You can keep them out here a little bit. What we're going to do is kind of a hold in both directions. So elbows on your knees, hands on your ankles. You're going to push down for 5 seconds. And then you're going to push up with your knees into your elbows for 5 seconds. We're going to kind of go both directions. Back and forth. We're going down now. Now we push up. And push down. And push up. We do this because sometimes that contraction, when you're pushing up with your knees into your elbows, that's contracting those muscles. So then when they relax and you push down, you get a little bit more stretch, and it kind of lets those muscles relax and stretch out a little bit more. You'll kind of feel it as you do it. You'll feel those muscles relax. You'll feel like you're able to push your knees down more. Okay, let's go push down one more time and push up one more time. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to put our feet out in front of us, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to put your hands kind of on the insides of your legs, sit up real tall, and just kind of hold this position. We're going to hold for 5 seconds. And then from there, we're going to bring our hands, well, you can put them down behind you or just hold them here. You're going to kick your leg out. We're going to do alternating leg kicks here. And you can lean back a little bit more if you need to. Let's do 2 more on each side. Okay, then our hands come down again, sit up tall, just kind of sit in this position. About 5 seconds. You can do a little bit longer if you want to. You can kind of rock a little bit. Just make sure your back's up tall so you're not hunching down like this. Okay, we're gonna do one more set of kicks. So we're just gonna kick. Let's do 5 on each side. 3, 4, and 5. And you can do more of those as you want. As you do more of those, they'll get a little bit easier. Okay, now we're gonna come up into a half kneeling position. So you're gonna kneel on one leg, put the other leg out in front of you, and heel on the ground. So we're gonna do a little hamstring stretch. If you need to hold onto a wall or a chair or something, you can. So we're just gonna kind of lean forward into that hamstring and then come back up, let it relax, bring it down, just pause for a couple seconds. We're gonna do 5 of these. That's 3 and 4 and last one, 5. Okay, now we're gonna get to the hard part, and you can hold on again. If you can't do this at all, you can skip it or work your way up to it. Basically, you're gonna lift your heel off the ground. And we're just gonna do 5 times. So that's really tough, especially if you have tight hamstrings or your hips are weak. But you can work into that and start with the first one, kind of stretch out those hamstrings and then work into that. Okay, let's switch legs. Okay, so we're gonna do our hamstring stretch, lean into that leg, let it relax. Lean again, pause for a couple seconds. That's number 3. We're gonna do 5, 4, and 5. Okay, now we're gonna go to the tough part, and we're gonna go here. Just lift 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's a great routine. You can do daily if you want to, but I would suggest just every other day, or you can pick a few of those exercises to do every day and gradually increase your hip mobility and your hip strength and get just feeling a whole lot better.